Hey guys, it's Rachel Youngson here from useplr.com and wholefoodplr.com. We are here with our weekly PLR Power Hour. This is where we talk about PLR, do some training, get some resources, connect with others, and more than anything, folks use this time to carve out an hour of their week to work on their PLR. So we have a really exciting presentation today. We're going to be talking about simple ways to make your PLR unique. We've been getting some questions about this over in our Use PLR members group. So I figured this would be the best forum to address that. And let's get started. Let's start the fun. So first of all, guys, for those folks who are here live, if you want to speak, I generally go around the room and just check in with all the members and see who's got what going on. Some folks choose to lurk, and if you would prefer to lurk, that's totally okay. Please just put lurk in the chat. If you're okay to speak, please let me know that in the chat as well. And then, of course, we generally have some folks who filter in about the 110, 115 range. No problem, Ms. Kim. I hope you're doing good. All right, so Carol, are you up for a chat today? Oh, no worries. Carol says she's been out of town. That sounds really fun, Carol. Good for you. A nice vacation, hopefully. Miss Audrey, you're lurking today? No problem, Audrey. All right, so then we will go right into our training. So like I said, one of the things that we've been getting asked over at Use PLR members group is how to make your content unique. And those folks who've been with me for a while, they are probably rolling their eyes because they know that I always say pretty much the same things about making your content unique. But I do think that, especially for folks who are newer to the PLR world, it's an important thing to kind of touch back on every so often. So the first thing that I really want to stress to everybody is you get your PLR, first thing you want to do, read that license, read that PLR license. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up my own one of my own PLR pieces here for you guys so that you can kind of see what I'm talking about. And of course, every PLR license is a little bit different. That's just the way it goes. If you ever have any questions, you should be able to talk to the person who created the PLR. If you send them a contact form, or if you try to contact them and they don't reach out to you, you don't want to buy from them anymore. Usually though, if it's not somebody that you know or you've worked with before, I always recommend looking for their past free products. Most PLR sellers have them on their site. It's kind of our way of letting you see what we're about. So the first thing, I have a OneDrive where I just started storing all my stuff because I got a fun little virus a few weeks ago. So everything, this is like $8 a month, and it houses all of my super important stuff. And the other good thing about it is if I go on travel, theoretically, I haven't done it yet, but theoretically I can access this from other places as well. Most of my regulars know I also have a This Week folder, and that's where I keep all my super important stuff that's going on right now. Okay, so for example, when you purchase our Paleo 30-day challenge, for example, you'll see our rights and next steps, and that will show you exactly what you can and can't do with the PLR. Most of the time, simply, you can do pretty much anything with it as long as you adhere to any pricing guidelines they might have listed in here. Some sellers will say, we don't want you to give this away for free. I've seen people say, I only want this to be sold at X amount of dollars or higher, that kind of thing. So again, just pay attention to it. If you have any questions, just ask them. Now, going into this, if I just got this PLR pack and I'm looking to make this my own, I want to make this totally unique to me. There's a lot of different areas that I could work with. So for starters, I would go into these articles, and you'll notice that, like, when you get a PLR pack and you have articles, typically all those articles will fall under some sort of umbrella, some sort of theme. If you guys can't hear me okay, or if you guys can hear me okay, can you just throw something in the chat so I know? My headphones are, I'm just a mess. Anyway, so typically when you get a PLR pack and you get those PLR articles, they'll all fall under one theme. So the easiest, simplest, gosh darn, why didn't we think of this sooner way that you can take care of that is simply by combining all of those into, thank you, Carol, is simply by combining all of those into like a report or a checklist or breaking them down into an email series. Because I guarantee you 90% of the people who've got that same PLR pack are not doing that with these articles. I guarantee it. It's, you know, we all have these different ways of getting things out there, but so many times we miss the fact of changing this into another format entirely. Change X to Y, you know, make this a report, make this a video, make this something. That's the easiest way to make something unique and make it your own. The second thing that I always recommend is that you go through these step by step. Like I would go through these article by article, or if I was doing the report section, I go through the report, make examples, things that you're knowledgeable about. See, as PLR sellers, we don't list specifics. We're taught not to do that because we're not you, and we're selling this and creating this so that you can turn around and pass it off as your own. So I can't say my 13-year-old son did XYZ because you may not have a 13-year-old son, and your son might not get into the same shenanigans that my son gets into anyway. So I would go through these and I would look for ways to insert pieces of your actual self into this content. These are examples of my business. This is how this relates to what I did personally. This is my own struggle with this, those types of things. Again, that's a super easy way to do it. Make it your own, make it unique. If you have any issues with that, please feel free to, we can always, in the members group, we can always talk amongst ourselves, and we can always, you know, do a deep dive and give each other suggestions and guidance and things. And of course, if you post in there, please feel free to tag me, because I've got a lot of folks in there and I'm trying not to miss anybody. Okay, so we've got the articles. We've either turned them into a different format, or we've gone through and we've placed things about us in this format. The next thing that a lot of folks like to do is rewrite the content itself. Does it need to be done? I personally, you know, hi, Miss Angel, no worries. Does it need to be done? I personally don't think it needs to be done every time. So for instance, if I have these articles and I am turning them into a video, nobody is going to look at this video and say, hey, I heard those exact words somewhere else. I mean, it really kind of depends. It's a case-by-case basis. Usually, though, there will be some tweaking involved. There will be some rewriting is always good. If you ever have any questions about either how to do your rewriting, or whether you've rewritten it enough that there's nothing else on the beautiful interwebs that will conflict with it, or kind of raise flags as far as being duplicate content, there's a few options for you. The first is a site called copyscape.com. And what that lets you do is it allows you to put in your your material, and then you can actually check the interwebs and see the internets or whatever, and you can see what the uniqueness is of your article versus something else. So the same is true for if you are at the point of your business where you start outsourcing and you want to know if the person that's just maybe delivered your writing to you has plagiarized that in any way, that's also a great time to use Copyscape. Throw it in there and see, make sure that article is truly unique. The second thing is a handy formula from, you can see all my FBA stuff, from Aaron Chandran, I believe his last name is. And this is actually a pretty popular thing. It's pretty low cost. It does cost, but again, it's pretty cost effective. And again, I would only get it if you're really new to PLR, or you're really struggling to get into the groove of rewriting things. And that is the PLR rewriting formula. So now you've got your material, you've rewritten it, you put your new things into it, you've made sure that you aren't that you've duplicated it or you've created it in such a way that there's not like 100 million things that look exactly like yours. You've also turned around and you've changed it into different formats. All right, well, now what do? I think you actually are pretty well done with the article portion. You can, from here, you can of course turn into reports, turn into emails, videos. We've already talked about all this fun stuff. They can even be like, you can pull questions out of it for, like, if you do a podcast. Totally unique way to use PLR. Totally something that not everybody is utilizing PLR for, you know. So for instance, with this, the 45 paleo cooking essentials, if I was in the paleo niche, I could definitely have either have a guest chef on who's in the paleo industry, or I could be talking to my readers, my audience, about kitchen essentials, and I can, you know, tell them this is what I use. This is some reviews of other things. So like maybe if there's a product over here in this piece of PLR, I can go check Amazon or whatever and look at the reviews and kind of see if I've ever used it and that kind of thing, and go from there. But I mean, there's really an endless possibility, line of possibilities with that stuff. So now we worked through the articles. I would now go over to my report. Excuse me. Yeah, you can see I watch crime. I don't watch it. I listen to trials during the day because I need background noise, but I don't like having the TV on because then I get distracted to the point where I want to Netflix, and that's never a good thing. So from here, I would go to my report. Now, when you have a report and you're trying to make your report unique, the first thing I always tell my clients, and anyone who's been in here for a while knows this, what I'm about to say. You want to change the cover of your report. I always recommend at least changing the cover of your report and the title of the report. Why do I do that? Because even though the internet is a huge place, even though it's very, very, very unlikely that someone will purchase PLR from you, or I'm sorry, purchase a product that you created from PLR and then go back and purchase the same product from somebody else and be like, hey, that's real similar. I mean, how often do we notice that those things are similar? But even though you want to make this your own, and the easiest way to make it your own is to throw a new cover on it. Even if you didn't touch anything else, if you had a different cover, then they would think that it would look totally unique. It could sit side by side with the original and nobody would know the difference. The next thing that I do, oh, and I'm sorry. We have a great training in our Use PLR members group on how to create e-covers. And I don't have the link to that, but if you need that, please feel free to reach out to me afterwards, Rachel@useplr.com, and I will get that for you. So going through here, I would do the same thing. I would look at ways that I could change the format, look at ways that I can make this unique to myself. Can I put any graphs in here? Can I throw different pictures in here? Anything that's simple and easy and gets the job done quickly. Can I break this down into an email series and throw this into my follow-up? Totally. I mean, anything you want to do. It's, and also you could even, of course, going back to the podcast, you could even, if you have like a forum like a podcast or a webinar like this, for instance, this report could be a free gift, and you can just pull pieces of information out of it to use for that podcast or that webinar. And then this report could be either a free gift to get people on your mailing list or a low cost report. The other thing I always recommend my excuse me, my clients to do is to, not on the first page, but on the second page here, always list your name and your website and the page number. The reason you want your name and your website is because if this gets lost, if this gets printed out, if someone else happens to see it, then it's an easy way for someone to say, oh, hey, that's this person. Oh, and look, I have a nice little spelling error in that. That's really great. So anyway, so that is, oh, I'm sorry. The other thing that I always do, and this is what I do with finished products. So I'm just going to go over to my used PLR products, or I'm sorry, yeah, my used PLR products real quick, because I want you to kind of see the difference between this PLR, which is a dummy, rough, essentially, and then over here, used PLR, some of my past releases over here, they're more formal because this is my, this is the training product that I give to somebody else. Okay. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. You can also make a checklist or a planner. That's super simple, super easy. Jen Brockman, she has a great course out right now that's going to teach you all about how to make those planners and how to make money from those planners. So it's super, super great. I'm taking part in it. I just think it's anything you can do for a passive income stream or a second income stream. I feel like it's really important to do that. Excuse me. All right, so this is my final. So essentially, this is what my report looks like after I have made all the changes that I needed to make, maybe broken it down into different formats, added my unique twists to it, changed the e-cover and all that fun stuff. This is what I now have. And so from here, to make it even more unique and even more my own, I have, of course, the disclaimer and legal notice and all that stuff. Some pieces of PLR come with that. But you'll notice I also have my name, my website, really important. We also have, there should be an About Me page. Where's our About Me page? I guess this must have been one of the first products we created. So sorry in advance about that. But there's generally an About Me page here. And what I'll do is I'll put my picture in. I'll put my website. I'll tell a little bit about who I am, what I do. Basically, you want this to be like, hey, this is why you should listen to me. This is why you can trust me, essentially. It's no more than a page, and it just kind of covers a little bit about you. It's just an introduction. And then, of course, I go into the product itself. At the end, we typically have a conclusion, and you see like all these graphs and that kind of thing. We put that in here. So like if you have, let's say, let's go back to that whole food PLR for the 30-day challenge. You could easily throw tables like this into your report and have folks maybe check in with their own eating habits, maybe throughout the report at different stages, or their own kitchen tools or what they're going to need, or that kind of thing. Super easy way to add bulk to that report, but also engage your readers a little bit more. So I always do my own formatting. Usually these types of things come formatted to a degree. But for instance, I tend to like the blue because it kind of follows in line with my use PLR theme. So I always change the headings to blue, and I do that kind of stuff. Not always, but I'd say when the mood strikes me, most of the time I do. And then at the very end, you want to list your resources. This is these are all affiliate links, so you want to be sure that you have affiliate links in your resource page. Of course, if you mention any products that you've used or you are making any recommendations, whether they're your products or other products, you want to have a link that you can get credit for. So, of course, an affiliate link wherever you can. And these are all resources that all of these resources matter because they link to what we've already talked about. So it's not like I come down here and then I just pitch everything. That's not good. People don't like that very much. You want to give them things that really should be helpful to them. And then, of course, we have some of my favorite places to learn. So these are basically places where I've learned a few different things, and I think that I know they're trustworthy places. And then all my social media stuff is here as well as my two main websites. Now, I know that I probably should have this presented a little bit better. My friend Angel is probably chuckling at herself right now because she knows that I should have this listed better too. She has such beautiful pages and stuff. Now, the last thing that I would make sure I do is I would have, in addition to the resources page, I have started putting in next step pages. And so those typically tell folks, okay, well, you've read this, now this is where we go. So for instance, if you read the 30-day paleo challenge, your next steps might be, here's a link to Amazon tools. Here's a link to my paleo lifestyle coaching program. Here is a link to my website. Here is a link to a free report maybe, or from somebody else in the paleo niche, or whatever you want them to do. What do you want them to do after reading this? Do you want them to watch a video? Do you want them to jump on an email sequence of some sort? Where's your what's the end game, essentially? So those are my favorite ways to make PLR unique. And I feel like those are, as far as the fastest and the easiest, I feel like those pretty much cover it. However, I would love, Angel says profit is more important than perfection. It looks good to her. Thank you, Angel. I would love to hear your thoughts. And if you have any questions, I'd like to hear those as well. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing the screen at this point. And that way I can get a better view of who's all here and what everyone might want to talk about. Hey, Bill, good to see you today. Hi, Tina, good to see you today. Hello, Kathy, good to see you today. So I'm not sure exactly where everybody came in. So did you guys, for specifically Bill, Tina, and Kathy, were you able to, were you here when we went over the articles and how we would make PLR articles unique? Were you here for that portion? You can just throw something in the chat box. And Bill, I hope you're doing good today. No, Kathy, no problem. No problem. We'll get on it. We can go back a bit. No worries. Okay, no problem, Tina. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, guys, so essentially, and because of the time, I'm going to just go ahead and break it down for you guys. Essentially, what we'll do is, if we have PLR articles, step one would be to find a way to incorporate things about your own life, whether it's stories of your own journey or your own success, your own struggles, anything that you like. Maybe you have your parent, you have a child who's gone through a certain thing, and you You're reaching out to other parents, anything that allows the readers to connect with you better. So that's step one. Add your own touches. Step two, rewrite. Now, depending on, I would say that depending on the format, if you like, okay, let me scratch all that. You're going to rewrite it, but I would only rewrite it if you really need to. So for instance, if you're making a video, you can easily pull the PLR, if it's already written well, the way that it is, and do a video and go about your life. And the odds of anybody saying, hey, I think this is exactly what I heard or I read somewhere else are pretty slim. If you're doing a podcast, you can pull pieces of information off of that article and make that a podcast topic for the day. Things like that. So that's because that's a different format. It's really simple to, or I should say, because it's a different format, you don't really have to stress as much as if you have a report, or I'm sorry, you have articles on your blog post, somebody else has on your blog, like maybe I'm an affiliate for Joe Schmo, and he also happened to get the same PLR, and he has similar articles on his blog. I mean, that's a little bit different than if two people are using two different formats. So make it unique, rewrite it. We do have a couple of resources in the chat. The first one is copyscape.com, and the second is the PLR rewriting formula. So Copyscape is where you can go to make sure that you can make sure that what you wrote is rewritten to the point that you're confident that nobody else would know that it was PLR. Or the other way to use it is if you get to the point where you are outsourcing your writing work, you can use Copyscape to make sure that the person who delivered your articles to you, it truly made them from scratch. So Copyscape is a really valuable tool for that. There is a charge. It's not very much. I believe they still run off of a credits-based system, but it's well worth it. I think the last time I used it, I paid like $10 for 5 searches or 10 searches. I don't know, but either way, it's really valuable. And then, of course, the PLR rewriting formula, that is a cost. That is something that I would only recommend if you, A, don't feel comfortable rewriting something and you kind of want to learn a little bit more about how that process works, or B, you are brand new to PLR and you are trying to kind of find your bearings and learn a little bit about how you can get your stuff out quickly. If you're really comfortable with what you're doing, as much as I personally like that rewriting formula, I would say, you know, save your money if you're already comfortable with what you're doing, as far as making that stuff unique. I don't think there's any real reason to change what works for you. So we've done the rewriting. We've added our personal touches. The biggest thing that we were talking about earlier is changing the format. So for instance, if you have articles, you can easily make those articles combine them into a report, make them into emails, like each article is its own individual email. You can make them into, like we said before, information for a podcast, or even if you do a webinar such as this, you can make it information for that. You can use it, like speak to it, make them MP3s, break them down into templates. If you're a little bit savvy, maybe make a step-by-step journal or planner, incorporating the information in there. I mean, it's really like changing the format is such a huge deal. And when you kind of get to the point where you're familiar and you're confident with changing the product formats, it just becomes so easy and so simple. So like even on Whole Food PLR, we have the report, we have a checklist, we have articles. All generally that stuff is is linked to each other in some way, and not even just the topics. But I mean, when we pull the checklists, we pull them out of the articles. We tell you guys what to do from those articles, or so that you can tell your readers. It's we just changed the format. It's we didn't have to reinvent the wheel. So those are our big things. Did anyone have any questions? Because I do want to kind of go around and check in with everybody before we wind down today. Okay, great. So for Tina and Kathy and Bill, did you guys? Oh, I'm sorry, Tina. Yeah. Hey, Tina, don't worry. Tina says, thanks for revisiting the article information. You know what? That's no problem at all, Tina. That's what that's what we're here for. That's why we do this. I really want you guys to have to get the training that you, or not even training, just a way to connect with other people and maybe bounce ideas off of each other to learn different ways to do stuff. Okay, guys. So Tina, Kathy, Bill, did you guys want to talk or lurk today? Anything is fine. Sometimes we get folks who just want to come and listen in so that they can work on their PLR while they're doing, like, learning a thing or two, maybe, or just listening to everybody else, and that's totally okay. No problem, Tina. No problem, Kathy. It's good to have you here. I don't think that you and I have had a chance to connect yet. I think I've connected with pretty much everybody else here today. Sure. Just so you know, they're over at useplr.com for those who are newer to PLR or newer to myself and maybe the community that we're building here around using PLR. Over at our useplr.com website, we have, you'll see some free reports over on the bottom right-hand side, and those go over different ways to use your PLR. They are, of course, free. They're personal use only, meaning you can't edit them or use them for anybody else, that kind of thing. Miss Angel, did you want to talk today or did you want to lurk? No problem, Bill. I know how that, I totally understand. I hope you're doing good. I haven't had a chance to talk to you in a bit. Oh, also, anyone who is not part of our members group, just so you know, we have a wonderful new Facebook group. And I'll actually share that with you guys really quick, and then I will let you guys go about your lives. So we have a wonderful new group. Kathy says, I'm editing as you speak. Good job, Kathy. We have a few others who do the same, and I'm really like, it's so cool to hear what people get accomplished while I just sit here and ramble for an hour. So anyway, guys, if you're not part of our members group yet, this is our Use PLR members group. It is a closed group. You can search for it in Facebook. It's just facebook.com/groups/Use PLR members. And what we do here is essentially, this is becoming where we house all of our power hours. This is where we're connecting with each other about how to do things, and we're asking questions to each other in here. It's just started out. We opened it, I believe, last week. We've just got shy of 100 members now, so I think it's a really good community, and I'm really thankful for my community and the support, that their belief in what I'm trying to build here. I think that's just makes me feel super, super great. But anyway, when you're in this members group, once you get approved, you will go, if you go over to learning, you have your Power Hour replays. These are all of our basic replays that go over what we do week to week. So weeks that we don't have specific training, we will typically go in and we'll go around the room, and sometimes that can lead to its own discussion. So a lot of times, like, I'll have somebody who starts talking about one thing, and then we'll wind up doing a quick walkthrough of how to do XYZ, and that's where the replays are going. We are still working on throwing all of our training videos in here, but we do have, like, our first section is, of course, your first steps. When you're brand new to PLR, when you first get your PLR, these are the things that you're going to want to do. These are the things that are going to make your life easier. And of course, one of my favorites is the organizing your PLR using Trello. I am still working on getting everything else that we have organized and setting them up into units here. But we do have trainings from the past on using PLR to create sales funnels, using PLR to create physical products, taking your PLR offline, how to use PLR to grow your business. One of my favorites from Jen Brockman from our group is using how to use PLR planners and journals. I should tell you real quick, Jen also, if you're into planners and journals, she also has a new course that shows you how to make money with your planners and journals. And that is really, really, really good. Again, just like with the rewriting formula, if you don't do journals currently, I honestly wouldn't think about it too much unless you're serious about trying to start creating that second passive income stream. But for those of you who are into creating journals and planners, this is a great resource. Jen Brockman has hosted here at the Power Hour a few times. She is, she and I have worked together on a lot of stuff. I trust her a lot. And I'm in the group too. I'm part of that training too. So I feel free to tap me if you ever have any questions. If it's something that suits you. If it doesn't suit you, if you don't care about making planners and journals, don't worry about it. You have more than enough to work on, I'm sure. So we also, before we wrap, I wanted to let you guys know that a few things are coming up. First of all, dates are to be determined, but we're going to have a Kartra training with our very own Angel Santos in the coming weeks. She is going to show us what Kartra is, how she uses it, give us a basic walkthrough of everything. Here's the really important thing about Kartra is this is a really important training for anyone who does not have an affiliate program, doesn't have a shopping cart. Those are, I think, the two, to me, those are if you really need to get those things in place, I would be there. Typically, I recommend that folks look for what others in their industry are using as far as affiliate programs and shopping carts and that kind of thing. However, I know that Kartra has a lot of support for anyone who uses it. And it helps you to design your web pages and helps you do a lot of that kind of stuff too. So it's definitely an interesting training. I've done it myself with Angel, and she's a great teacher, and it's a really cool training. We also have Alex Brockman is going to be coming to speak to us also in the next few weeks, and she is going to show us how she organizes her PLR using Google Slides. So for those of you who were on the Trello training especially, this might be a good one to kind of give you a little bit of another way to view that kind of stuff. So let's say that Trello just doesn't work for you or it's not resonating with you. This is another way to kind of do stuff. Miss Angel, did you want to talk at all today? You don't have to, sweetie. You can totally lurk. I don't mind. I just want to check. I just realized I did not check in with you. And of course, over at our members group, we're always taking information as far as what you want to see in terms of using your PLR. In fact, really quick, I actually have had a question from one of our members. I told him I'd ask here. So he has PLR, and he's making it unique, making it his own. What he wants to do after that is translate it into Spanish. He wants to do that quickly and effectively. And he asked me if I had any ideas. So I told him that personally, you know, most of my clients are English speaking. I gave him a few suggestions as far as translation tools and maybe hiring somebody to do the translation for him. So what I want to know from you guys is A, do you use any translation tools? And if so, what do you use? Or B, what is your favorite site for outsourcing if you outsource? You can either throw it in the chat, or you can shoot me an email after, or you can even send me a PM. Or if you're in the members group, you can tag me in a post. But this is kind of a stumbling block and for this person, and I want to make sure that I help him the best way that I can, because it's not something that I'm terribly familiar with. I just want to be sure that I've covered all my bases. And of course, if there's anything that you want to see, please feel free to let us know. Last thing I should tell you is that we are going to be having a sale on one of our whole food PLR packs. That's going to be coming it should be coming this week. And if you are part of the members group, then you will get first access to that. We're not talking for like weeks or months, but you'll get either the best price or you'll get first dibs. So if that is of any interest to you, if you're in the whole food niche or any type of healthy eating niche, then make sure that you check in there. Other than that, I am always available to chat and touch base with you. Anything you need at any time. You can reach me at rachel@useplr.com. You can also, of course, tag me in anything in the Facebook group. Hey, anybody who's already in the Facebook group, would you mind telling me in the chat maybe some things that you like about it or you don't like about it? It's fine if you don't like things about it. It's not going to make me cry, I promise. But I'm just trying to make sure that I make it the best possible environment for everybody. And especially with it being so new, I want to make sure that I make it a great place for everyone, like a comfortable place, a place where, you know, folks feel like they can really connect. Over time, what I really want to do is have, over time, I'm going to invite some of my PLR friends into the group as well. And so that way you'll have, for instance, Trish Lindenmood from Kitchen Bloggers. You know, she does a lot of health PLR, food PLR. And she also did a training for us on how to make money with a food blog and PLR. And so it would be great if you guys were in the group and you watched that training, then you could go through and be like, oh, hey, I need to tag Trish because I have a question on this. You know, that'd be nice. Audrey says she hasn't gone through everything yet on it, but she likes how the videos are easily available. Thank you very much, Audrey. I really appreciate it. Oh, Audrey is in Trisha's book. Audrey, would you mind telling me the name of that book again? I know what it is, but I can't think of it. Do you know the name of it? Because what I'd love to do also is I love to showcase our members. Okay, no problem. And you know what? Audrey says, let me look. This is, you and I might be switched to birth or something, lost at birth, because that's me. But anyway, you can tap me in the Facebook group, send me a PM, or even reach out to me at rachel@useplr.com. Especially since you're in the book, what I'd love to do is give it a shout out on our upcoming emails, as well as in our group, because I really think it's important that when we do something with our work, we are able to showcase that. Another thing that we're going to be doing in our group is if we have any service providers on the call who are part of the USPLR members group, please reach out to me and let me know, because one thing that we really want to do is my goal is, I'm new to PLR. I'm connected to this group. I know now I have information on everything that I need to get started, to be profitable, for XYZ, and one of the ways that I think we could help people grow is as they become successful in their businesses and they're ready to outsource, if we have maybe special member discounts for our group, or we know who's in our group that we can trust, and we can go to them for outsourcing work, or at least try. So thank you, Audrey. Yes. So that book that Audrey was talking about is Trish Lindeman's book, Turn Your Food Blog into a Business. Audrey, you will notice I will go ahead and email about that too, as well as put that in the Facebook group. But I appreciate you giving me that because I am just lost today. Okay, so I really don't have much more to chat about. Does anyone have any questions? Anything that you really want to talk about, or anything? Oh, thank you, Audrey, for letting me know that. Audrey says that the book is actually not just for food bloggers, it's for other niches too. So I think I appreciate you saying that. That's a really important note that we're going to make when we give it a shout out. My gosh, I'm so sorry, guys, about my phone, by the way. It's just going bananas. Isn't it funny? Like, my phone never, ever, ever goes off unless I'm in a meeting, and then my phone, like, bless. Like, it just goes bananas. Carol says, thank you for the content from today. It's good to be back. Carol, my friend, it is good to have you back. You're in the group, right? If you're not, I would totally want to, I'll get you in there. But I really appreciate it, Carol. I'm so glad that you're back. I hope that you had I hope that you are able to easily adjust to getting back into the swing of things. I know that it's not always the easiest. It is. Carol says it's a process. It definitely is a process, Carol. I totally understand. Even when it's funny you say that way, because even when I, like when my day even when I'm not out of town, my day just gets thrown off in the super simplest kind of way. It's like you'd think the world exploded because it takes me so long to figure my life out again. And I mean, I'm a list girl. I have lists on everything and everything else, but I still, like, if you mess with my schedule, I just have no idea what I'm doing with life anymore. So I get it. Okay, guys. Well, keep an eye on the Facebook group as we migrate things over. Always, please let me know what you need, or what you want, or what you want to know about. And of course, if there's any PLR providers that you have questions about, or you need resources, please let me know. Tina, you are more than welcome. I hope you have a wonderful day too. Hopefully we'll see you next week. If we don't, then you can definitely catch the replay in our group, and I really appreciate you coming today. All right, guys. Anybody have any final thoughts? Thank you, Kathy. Kathy says, have a great rest of your day, and thank you. You are more than welcome. I really love talking to you guys, and I appreciate it. It's really nice to have a day in the week where I get to actually interact with the people that I try to serve through the week. So it's nice. It's really nice. Even when I have like a bunch of lurkers, honestly, it makes me feel good to know that folks are coming in and actually working on their PLR and that kind of thing. It's really great. Okay, guys, so it is 7:53. We're going to, if nobody has anything else, we're going to go ahead and wrap a few minutes early today. All right, so this is Rachel Youngson from useplr.com and wholefoodplr.com. This is our PLR Power Hour. If you need me between this week and next week, please reach out to me at rachel@useplr.com. If you are not a part of our Facebook members group, please go to facebook.com/group/useplr members group. Look for that in your search bar. Use PLR is one word. All right, guys, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I can't wait to chat next week.